Daniel, as he glanced at his calendar. It was jam-packed with errands, social gatherings, and 1,000 small tasks that seemed urgent. On paper, his life looked full, yet at the end of each day he felt strangely unfulfilled. He couldn't remember the last time he'd truly relaxed or spent meaningful time with the people he loved. One weekend, hoping to find a moment of clarity, Daniel decided to take a road trip to a cabin by the lake, a childhood spot where he always felt at peace. Early Saturday morning, he set off in his car. Despite his initial excitement, he found himself distracted even before leaving his neighborhood. First, he stopped at the dry cleaner. Then, he picked up groceries for next week. Next, he grabbed a coffee, only to scroll through social media while waiting in line. By lunchtime, he had barely left town, and the lake was hours away. Frustrated, he pulled into a quiet roadside diner. There he met an older gentleman named Harry, who was leisurely sipping tea. Harry noticed Daniel's hurried demeanor and struck up a friendly conversation. "You seem restless," Harry remarked kindly. Daniel exhaled, then admitted, "I was supposed to be on my way to the lake to unwind, but I keep making stops for all these little things, and now I'm way behind schedule." Harry stirred his tea thoughtfully. "Let me tell you something I learned years ago," he said. "I once took a long trip across the country by car. I planned to see the mountains, the coast, and some dear friends. But every time I saw a small roadside attraction, I pulled over, thinking, well, it's just a minute or two." Soon, those minutes turned to hours. By the end of the trip, I hadn't spent the quality time I wanted with my friends, and I never made it to half the places I truly longed to see. He paused, giving Daniel a knowing look. "I learned that if you keep getting sidetracked by every minor distraction, you'll never reach the destinations that matter most. It's good to handle life's smaller needs, but you can't let them steal the spotlight from what you truly care about." Daniel nodded slowly. He saw how the day's quick errands, while worthwhile in their own way, had stolen hours from his real goal, finding peace at the lake. Harry finished his tea and stood up, pressing a few bills onto the counter. "The road ahead will always offer little detours, but if you're determined to reach the lake by sunset, you have to set your course and stick to it. Take care of the essentials, sure, but keep your eye on the bigger picture." Daniel thanked Harry for the conversation, feeling a renewed sense of purpose. He hopped back into his car, resisting the urge to respond to every text message or impulsively pull over for the next interesting sign. Instead, he put on some calming music and focused on the drive. By the time he arrived at the cabin, evening light was shimmering across the water. Daniel stepped onto the wooden dock, breathed in the crisp air, and felt more at ease than he had in ages. He realized that life, like a road trip, needed direction. If he spent all his time tending to every minor pit stop, he'd miss out on the destinations that truly fed his soul, like being close to nature, reconnecting with loved ones, or nurturing the dreams he'd put on hold. He set his bag down, resolved that when he returned home, he would approach life with the same deliberate mindset. The errands would be done, but only after he reserved time for his priorities: meaningful relationships, personal growth, and moments of joy and rest. Standing by the lake, Daniel finally understood what Harry meant. Life has countless possibilities to pull you off track, but you choose your path by giving your real goals, your big destinations, the space and time they deserve. The smaller things, they'll fit in once you've decided what truly matters. We are just like Daniel, caught up in small obligations and distractions. We forget the big, important journeys our hearts yearn to take. Life will always tempt us with side roads and quick stops. But when we keep our eyes on our true destinations, whether it's our personal growth, relationships, or dreams, we discover our path to fulfillment. Remember, it's never too late to focus on what truly matters. So take a moment now to ask yourself, where is your lake? What is your goal? Let that image guide you forward. Stay the course, let your heart lead, and you'll find that every step of the journey becomes more meaningful, more purposeful, and more alive.